Rockin' Through the Decades is really cool. This is an Alvin and the Chipmunks special from 1990. It's directed by Steve Karman and presented by Will Smith. And Will Smith has some amazing costume changes in this. And basically, the Chipmunks, Alvin, Simon, and Theodore, put on various musical performances of songs through the decades from, I think, the 50s up until, obviously, when this was released. And we have quite a good selection of songs. And I will say, I know nothing about music. I'm not a big music fan. But I knew, I think, all but one song in this. I think there was only one song that I didn't recognise. So we're definitely talking a lot of the big hits if I knew them. And we have some wonderful performances. We also have some footage of the artists, for example, Michael Jackson. And we get to see the Chipmunks as the Beatles and the Beach Boys and several others. I won't spoil them by going into all of them, but it's really great to see the Chipmunks in these different costumes and singing these different songs. And not every song is played in its entirety, which I think was a really good decision because it meant that the pacing was a little bit smoother. It also meant that if there is a song that you don't care for, we're quickly moving on to the next one. But each song did get a pretty decent amount of screen time. The whole thing is about, I think it's less than 30 minutes. It's not tremendously long. And they could have made it longer. I think they definitely could have done. But I never felt like I was left feeling like they didn't fulfill the brief. I think they managed to provide enough content, enough clips, enough variety that it felt like a complete package. We also have some appearances from various celebrities, some of whom are auditioning to take on the role of Alvin. Shelley Duvall was pretty brilliant, and some others as well. So I won't say too much about those. But I thought this was pretty impressive. If you're a big music fan, you might think differently. You might not be impressed with the song selection. But if you do love the Chipmunks, and indeed Will Smith was the perfect choice for hosting this. Very, very well written as well. Then I'd say it's absolutely worth checking out. Initially, I didn't actually think it was going to be Chipmunks abundant. I kind of assumed, thankfully incorrectly, that it would mostly just be clips of those songs, whether that's music videos or the artists performing, with a tiny bit of the Chipmunks here and there. But it's actually not. It's pretty much just the Chipmunks, with a few clips of the artists here and there, and it works really, really well. Beautifully animated, great pacing, editing's brilliant. Will Smith was a perfect choice for this. I really thoroughly enjoyed this. If you're a fan of the Chipmunks, if you're a fan of the music of the decades from the 50s to the 90s, well, very, very early 90s, then Rockin' Through the Decades is definitely worth checking out. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty great.